Hello, welcome. My name is Miriam. I'm a family therapist, and today I'm going to talk about inflexible children. These children come across as stubborn, willful, maybe a little bit spoiled. They want things to be a particular way, their way. Now, there are two groups of these children I'm going to explain in a moment, and I'm also going to give 3 strategies that you can use at home and see results straight away. Life with inflexible children is stressful because every little deviation from their expectation has the potential to go wrong. For example, maybe you promised to make something for dinner, but one of the ingredients was missing, so you cooked something else, and you know they like it, but no, they don't want it. And this can become a really big drama. And that's just one example. Life is full of events that are changing and things that don't really go according to plan. So why are they like that? There are broadly 2 groups of these children, as I've said, and the first one is of children whose brain is just wired like that. They have got a clear plan in their head of what they like, what they dislike, and what needs to happen next. And if that isn't happening, they become distressed. They also find transitions very difficult. So finishing off one activity and then go and do the next one can be really hard. If you tell them to finish a game and then go out, even if they like wherever they're going to find it very hard. And they are often refusing to go to the bath. They don't like going into the water, but once they are in it, they don't want to come out. Many of these children have got a specific learning difficulty and sometimes some sensory difficulties. Some of them have ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia. Maybe they're on the spectrum, autistic spectrum, but that's not necessarily so, but some of them are. The other group of inflexible children are children who are feeling emotionally insecure. It may be due to a life event or transition in their lives. Maybe they've got a little brother or sister. Perhaps you moved house, perhaps their parents separated, and they feel unsettled and a little bit more anxious, and so every change is much more difficult for them. There are some who has had difficult life experience happen to them before. It could be maybe medical procedures. It could be that the adults that were responsible for them earlier in their life were not doing their job properly, and they were or felt unsafe and uncared for. So these children haven't yet learned that the world is a safe place and they can fully relax, and that whatever happens, whatever change happens, their needs are going to be met and they're going to be fine. To help these 2 groups of children, we want on the one hand to reduce change and unpredictability so that there are less opportunities for the child to get anxious, but at the same time we want to help them become more and more resilient and more flexible so that they can take any changes in their stride. And the first of 3 invitations I've got to you is about preparing in advance. This means that you want to every evening have a conversation with your child, just making sure that your child knows what's going to come on the next day. Ask them, rather than tell them, ask them, do you know what we're doing tomorrow? Do you remember what happens first and what happens next? And maybe you even want to have a list of things, activities that you're planning to do. And that's very important, that a part of this preparation, you're going to prepare for possible changes and things not going according to plan. So you can say something like, we are going to the park and our friends are supposed to join us, but it may happen that they cancel. So how bad is that going to be? Is it going to be this bad for you? Is it going to be this bad? Is it going to be that bad? Or you're going to say, oh, a bit disappointing, but not too bad. When you're doing that, you're doing 2 things really. You are helping your child to think about the situation, imagine themselves in the situation, and maybe imagine a better response. But at the same time, you're also giving them a sense of proportion and showing that not all setbacks are disasters and not all of them are tragedies, and some of them are really bad, some of them are not that bad, and we can deal with that. So, my first skill, my first invitation, lots of preparation in advance, including preparation for things not going our way. The second invitation is that when things do go wrong and your child is upset and is going to complain or cry and shout about things not going his way, what most people tend to do is reason with them or make some suggestions. So they will say, don't worry, we're going to do something else instead. Or they're going to explain why what they wanted can't be done, or why they need to go and do the next thing. But the thing is that children are already anxious, and as I said, their problem is anxiety. And when they're anxious, they're not really thinking straight. I've got a whole video about how the brain works. I'm going to link to it here. You can have a look. But when children are in the grip of emotions, the brain isn't really working rationally, so rational explanations aren't going to work. So to go back to the example of the other thing that you made for dinner, you can say, oh, you really, really wanted me to make pizza, and I didn't. I just didn't have the ingredient. I'm so sorry, you're so disappointed. Even if you're thinking, oh, he's so spoiled, what's the big deal? We just changed it and we can have what he wants tomorrow. He's still a child and he's anxious and upset, and you want to give sympathy and empathy. Same thing with a child not coming for a visit, for example, or being able to go to the park. You go, oh no, it's raining. Oh, what a shame. Oh, I'm so sorry. I wish we could go. And just let them have their feeling. Let them have the disappointment, and only then, maybe if at all, a little bit of reasoning. And my third invitation is for you to catch them being flexible. So catch any incident of change of plan or something different, or you've asked them to stop doing something and do something else and they do it, and say, wow, you're being so flexible. I really like it. It's so helpful. And if the moment you say it, your child starts misbehaving, because some children are like that, just wait for a different time, and maybe before you go to sleep, just say to them, I really loved it that today this and that happened and you were okay. You said, oh, never mind, and that was fine, and you didn't make a fuss, and we all enjoyed ourselves so much. Even if they did make a fuss and they shouted even for a long time, you can say to them with sympathy and with love, you know what, it was very difficult for you. Things didn't go the way you wanted them. It wasn't easy for you, but you got over it, and now you're okay. And then we continued and everything was great. So don't go and say, you see, I told you it's not a problem. You gave me all this drama and now everything is changed. No, don't do that. Just say, I'm so glad that you got over it. It was so good that we were over it. You're becoming more and more flexible. You're learning that even if things are different and things don't go the way you intended, you're still going to be fine. So that's it for me. Use these 3 strategies and you are going to see results. And I hope you like this content. Please like, subscribe, share, enjoy your children, and see you next time.